On this week's Breaking News, we're talking the new lineup for the summer. We've got a lot of sets coming in, so you're going to have to listen to me babble on about those, Botanicals, Harry Potter, Animal Crossing, and so much more. And we talk about LEGO ideas, all that and more on this week's Breaking News. Now, we're all limited by horizontal surfaces. LEGO takes up a lot of that. So how are we going to solve that issue? Do you leave it there or deconstruct it and find other places? Or could you mount it to the wall? I personally had the Technic supercar, the Bugatti Chiron, taking up a lot of space. So I found allll.mark.com, where you can have a fully mounted vertical Bugatti with a lovely background of the Bugatti racing stripe with the logo and LEGO logo. There are two different frames, one that's lit and one that is not. And that's not the only LEGO set that you can have mounted. There are many, many options. So I recommend you head over to 11mark.com and use the code BACK2BRICK, which gives you a 10% discount on all of their frames as well as the sets that they also produce. So instead of taking up so much horizontal space, take that LEGO set and go vertical. Again, that's 11mark.com and use the code BACK2BRICK to save 10% on your order.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFOLs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you all for tuning into this week's podcast. I really hope you enjoy learning about LEGO, because that's what we're going to be doing today. Learning about what's been happening in the past week, and not as much and a lot as always. And I always like to thank you guys for coming and listening. Make sure to subscribe to this follow, and do the same over on the YouTube channel and Instagram if you want. The Instagram's kind of a whatever anymore. But also, I want to thank my patrons over at Patreon who are behind-the-scenes supporters that provide, a lot of more help. Oh, sorry, Bumbo. Hit my cat on the head, unfortunately. I do not abuse animals. It's just accidental. And who like to support the podcast, get it ad-free, get the podcast early. So you can be one as well. There's a link in the description. Now for the admin side, not much going on, just trying to get through the days. And that's pretty much it. Not a ton going on, trying to do a little bit of building here and there, but a lot of yard work as it's getting hot, trying to do it in the evenings. And that's it on the admin side. And we will be moving into our news here in a second, but I also want to let you know that at the end of the episode, I do a set review. Well, two. One for LEGO and one for a Rebrickable mock that I like to talk about. And we're going to be doing, our first one is 31218, the Japanese Cherry Blossom Landscape. And then our Rebrickable mock is Stargate SG-1 Gate Room by AO Bricks 34. So stick around after the news so you can hear me and my opinions on that, and maybe you want to go purchase those for yourself. All right, let's get into this week's first breaking news story. Leonardo Da Vinci has a big impact on a lot of our, everything. We've got planes, we've got trains, we've got automobiles, we've got all kinds of different things, and they already came out with the flying machine, but it looks like we're going to get a gift purchase to celebrate Leonardo da Vinci, and hopefully we get the helicopter. It's only going to be about 250 pieces. Not sure when it'll come out, likely around June, and it'd be an 18-plus set. But for all those fans that haven't gotten it's a pretty fun set. I don't have it personally, but I got to play with it a little bit, and it really calls out to some classic, machines that we all love to, we've built upon and created some amazing aircraft. So that was like the original as we've moved into like the Pan Am 1 and the Concorde. Almost 100 LEGO Ideas sets were sent into review. 97, which is an absolutely astronomical number of sets that are going in review. And honestly, I think we're going to start getting some changes to how many people to vote. Right now, it's still 10,000, but I'm expecting it's going to go up. Or they need to start picking more than just like 2 or 3. They might need to tick like 5 or 6 because there are so many. We've got the Pioneer Da Vinci's film camera, the Lightbox, Kim Possible, Bookend Towers, Black Lotus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1987, Nikon camera, 21 Pilots, Stressed Out. That's just, to name a few. I don't even know which ones I would select because there's so many good ones here. Good luck, I guess, for the team, and hopefully for those that got theirs made, and hopefully they will be made into true LEGO sets. May the 4th was a crazy weekend. There was a lot of sets that went out of stock. I thought the Sail Barge, which was one of the most popular ones because it was 4 times VIP points, Insiders points, damn it, and which is kind of a reduction from $500 to $400. it said sold out. But then I go back to the website yesterday and it says temporarily sold out. So I guess that they've got more stock, but unfortunately they just didn't decide to put it up on the webpage. So a lot of people are not going to get that, didn't get that 4 times insiders points. And then the gifts with purchase, the ones for the N1 Starfighter, I think were still there. And then, of course, the Dark Saber was still available. But the Mando and Grogu metal card, which I was not expecting people to really like that much, completely sold out. And now it's on eBay for $120. Ridiculous. It goes from, instead of the lightsaber being exclusive for the set, to now being a Lego Insiders for exclusive when they've done those previously and no one wanted them. So I don't know. It's stupid. People are just stupid. And the resale market, I wish they would just stop that and just add more. And who knows? Maybe they will, because they did re-add some from the last May the 4th. And so maybe they'll do that again during the fall time for Star Wars, or again this next May. Lego has a new architecture set that's out. This one is like the Paris Skyline, and we talked about it last week. It's at 21066 New York City, the Big Apple. It's an 18-plus set at 1,465 pieces and a cost of $140. So it's pretty much 10 cents per piece. It'll be a June 1st release. And having the Skyline as a Big Apple is a creative take, I guess. To be honest, I don't really understand why they needed to do that. But then there's a lot of fun little buildings and little Easter eggs. They have the little skates as cars and their yellow taxis. Then other things like Central Park, the Easter eggs, the New York title piece, Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, and the Brooklyn Bridge. So many different details to add to some depth to this. For all those New York fans out there, I think it'll be a good call out for some of your favorite places. And for those that just love New York, also the same. Lego Icons Road Bike was revealed. This is an 18-plus set and 1,015 pieces and a cost of $130. So a little bit more expensive. And you might know why just looking at it. It's got some custom tires to it. And it's one of the cleanest icons I've seen ever. It doesn't even look like a Lego unless you really look at it. It's got a full chain section there where it doesn't look like you have a shifter, so I think you're stuck in one gear for that. But it will pedal. Does have a free wheel mechanism for coasting, although I don't know who's going to be able to ride this because it's a little smaller than average, but bigger also than you think. The total for like the wheels itself is like 12 pieces interlocking. And looking at like a lot of people and their responses, it doesn't look like this is going to be super popular. I expect it'll be on discount or not on shelves for very long. We've got some new Star Wars sets coming out for our summer releases. Unfortunately, they weren't available for May the 4th. No idea why they did that. They announced them during the May the 4th event, which is crazy to have them just announced and like, hey, these are great sets. You can't buy them just yet. One in specific is the Imperial Lambda class shuttle. So it's the Imperial shuttle. It's 961 pieces and a cost of $140. So it's a little steep, but you do get some great pieces, specifically a new version of Moff Gideon and Dr. Pershing, which I think is a great character to have as well. There's the Dark Saber, which I don't really know why there's the Dark Saber because it was destroyed. But spoilers from the last season. It is, I love the shuttle. I wish that they would do a set like this in a UCS again because they did a long time ago. But this is from Mandalorian and Grogu, so I guess he's still alive, maybe? Question mark? Who knows? We'll find out in this next movie. Come out in a couple weeks, actually. Some other Star Wars and more exciting one for me is the Imperial Remnant AT-RT driver helmet, 775 pieces at $70. So it's a pretty good piece count ratio there. And if you don't know, it's kind of like a two-person, or it's like a two-legged walker, quick walker, and it's very well done. They have the angling just right. I think they've taken a lot of hints from their helmet series for the F1. And so that's coming out on June 1st. And the next one is the upscale Darth Vader minifigure. It's 1,028 pieces at $100. and it's probably the best one. The space one's good, but this one is awesome because so many people love Darth Vader, and having it as the minifigure upscaled, I think is going to sell very, very well. I know I probably will want to get this one. It has the custom headpiece, different plates and stuff, and then a large scale cape because Darth Vader's got to have his cape, and a lightsaber. We're going to be talking about a lot of new sets for the summer, so let's dive into some more here. Lego Creator. We have a floral art painting, 348 pieces at $30, and it looks like it's an easel. It's a 3-in-1 set, so they painted flowers as well as a butterfly on it with some nice pastel colors. But then you can also do it as a flat painting with like a watercolor tray, and one that's just a frame with a very pretty outer coloring circle for it. Next one is a fashion bag with storage. It's 272 pieces at $30. So it's a little mini purse. And then they've made it into a little drawer as well as a kind of a little roller bag. It's got some really tiny rollers for it, but it's very, very cute for that. Music decor pianos, 485 pieces at $50, and it's got it's a turquoise piano. When it actually is open, is like a rainbow of music and different notes coming out, and it has a little stool with a cat on it. And then you can also convert it into a record player or a radio, a boombox, I guess, if you know what a boombox is. So those are fun little creator sets for the summer. Speed Champions gets another Fast and the Furious. This is the Toyota Supra and the Ferrari LMP car. Both are going to be, well, the first one is the Toyota. It's 292 pieces at $30. So again, price increase for this. Comes with a minifigure, and it's very bright colored orange. A lot of fun, just Fast and Furious details with some new pieces that look pretty cool to do inlets on the inside, and it's convertible. And the other is Speed Champions, not part of Fast and Furious. This is Ferrari 499P. It's 329 pieces at $30. Comes with a little minifigure, and it's the racing style of a very clean, very compact design for it, and a lot of stickers. Always a lot of stickers for those. Lego City Sets. We've got a backhoe loader. It's 301 pieces at $30. Classic. It's a back loader. It's got a backhoe section to it. And then the front, they've just been doing a lot more clean and very accurate designs for a lot of these, as we'll talk about. And then a porta potty, because why not? Of course, we got to have a porta potty. Passenger jets, 119 pieces at $30. This is more the 4+ set, smaller jet. Drive-through car wash, 583 pieces at $60. It has just the classic 6x cars that you can roll through. It's got brushes and stuff. You can lift up the roof, and it even shows like a little video and the wind blowers at the end. And you can dump water onto the car. Mountain bike adventure van, $260 at 260 pieces at $20. And it has 2 mountain bikes that you can mount to the back of this. You can open it up. It's got even a sliding door. Pretty cool, kind of off-roading style. And those are some of the city sets coming out June 1st. It's been leaked before, but now it's official. The Sega Genesis console. It's a 479-piece set at a cost of $40. And it's got, it's very small. It's a kind of a compact design. I mean, the Genesis wasn't a super big in general, but it comes with 2 small controllers, the console itself, and it has a little game card of Sonic in the top. And then you can actually have a different module on the front where you can change out from game mode to non-game mode. I guess the red and white feature on it. And then if you lift up the center console section on top, the rounded point, you can see there's a like a brick-built version of Sonic on there. It's pretty cool. A little too small, I think. I wish that they would have done a little bit more detail for something like this, especially at that. Well, it's part of the consoles that they've been doing, so I think that they could have done something like the Atari or the Nintendo. New Bluey sets are on the way. First one, Grannies with Bingo and Bluey. We've got 80 pieces at $15, and it's got new molds for Bingo and Bluey, which I always forget the grandma's names. And they have a little car there in the sandbox, which a little disappointed. They've got a can of beans though, which is funny, but they should have done it on the sidewalk when they're selling the little remote car. But it's cool. I mean, the Bluey figures are definitely not what a lot of people were asking for, but these ones might be more along the lines of what people wanted. Brick built Bluey family. It's 466 pieces at $70. So it's a little expensive. And it comes with all 4 characters as brick built. And they've got the rounded corners as blocks, pretty much. So like they are in the show. We've got Bingo, Bluey, Bandit, and Chili all with their. They've got additional brick built accessories like a camera, a little fire, and a xylophone. It is cute. I do like that one pretty much. And then the last one is School with Rusty and Bluey. It's 106 pieces at $25. So Rusty is another new character to add to the collection instead of the last one, which was they haven't done Muffin yet. I really wish they would do Muffin. And it's the school that Bluey goes to. And that's it right now. And we'll see what they come out with in the fall. Summer Brickheadz. The first one up is Alice in Wonderland, 601 pieces and $40. We've got Alice, the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, and then the Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat, actually, I built one of these a long time ago. And I think, did I do Alice too? I can't remember as Brickheadz. So that was years and years ago. These ones are pretty good, but a little expensive when they do a 4-piece set. But it's lower than just one, which is now like $12 or $13. And the next one is Toy Story, 528 pieces and $40. And you get 5 characters. You got Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and 2 of the aliens. The aliens are cool. I think that I wish they would do Buzz with a full like transparent helmet, but they didn't. And I mean, it makes sense. That would be a lot of pieces to do that. But those are our Brickheadz up and coming soon. We've got some more Disney sets on the way. The first one is Pua. It's the pig from Moana. I've talked about that. Another one, the Kakamora, and we've talked about that too. Those are pretty cute. The new one is Jasmine's Jewelry Box at 458 pieces at $50, and it's just a little box that it's the Friend style, so you can actually turn a little crank and they will ride the carpet and magically go up and down. Stitch with Scrump, talked about this one too as a buildable, and I think they downgraded really. Rapunzel's Castle, we talked about that one before. And Ariel's Royal Wedding Boat, we talked about that one. So there's a lot of things that we've talked about that have leaked, and now they're just getting official pricing and photos from Lego. Let's talk Minecraft. First one up is Chicken Jockey Desert Attack, 428 pieces at $25. So we have a wolf, the chicken jockey, so the little zombie kid on a chicken. And then we've got a large like skeletal creature. So primarily just the evil guys on this one. The skeleton, 502 pieces at $40. So it's just a large brick-built skeleton with, I think it's a diamond armor helmet and a cross and an arrow. The Endor Dragon, 710 pieces at $70. And the cool thing about the Endor Dragon is it has cloth wings because you can use a crank and you can actually make it fly, which that's pretty cool. Evaker, a village attack at 607 pieces at $90. So you've got all the different creatures and your village builds for that. And that's it for right now. Looking for more by the end of the summer. I am Megatron as a Brickhead. This is the next Brickheads that they've done since they already did Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. This is a $25 Brickheads, which is absolutely insane to have this because it's got 2. It's got Megatron and then Megatron Vehicle. Megatron Vehicles is a tank, and he does have a tank arm. And the vehicle itself is pretty cute, and I think it's because they didn't want it to look like anything like an actual tank. It's got 2 little eyes on it because I don't think the other sets had the little red eyes on it. I could be wrong, but I'll have to go back and check. But $25 is pretty steep for that. Some additional city sets came out specifically on the larger scale here. The dump truck and front end loader, it's 1,132 pieces at $130. So we've got a 6-wheeled dump truck and the front loader, and then we have a construction container where, the construction managers are working. Pizza delivery experience. It's a $50 set of 494 pieces, and it has a drone that delivers pizza to you. There's a little pizza oven, and above it is a brick-built pizza and a car for, of course, delivery for the pizza. The Lava Land roller coaster park. Similar to what we've seen in some of these smaller roller coaster types, it's just got a little roller coaster section and some lava creatures. And I think it's a callback to our, land miners or whatever it was called, not Rock Raiders, but the ones after it, in a fun little buildable version of that. The classic beach tram, 693 pieces at $75. This looks like a trolley that you'd see in Lisbon, Portugal, or in like San Francisco. It's a great looking trolley. It has it going all the way down to the boardwalk where there's somebody fishing off a small dock, and of course a little beach area with a little seal character and a little dog. We have 2 trains coming up. The Harbor Freight train at 803 pieces at $110. And this one has 4 different containers on it. And of course, if it's a cargo freight train, it's going to have different cargo to it. And a small kind of locomotive in the front. It doesn't look like it's going to carry much. And a truck and a crane to put that cargo on. What I don't like about these, and I think that's just becoming more normal, is these train tracks have a ramp off so you don't have to stick just on the track. I think that's for that younger audience, but I do love a good track. And then Village Steam Train. It's 575 pieces at $90, and it looks like a classic small train. It's got a green and black locomotive engine with a coal train, and then just little passengers on the back. So that's an extended edition for the Lego City line. We're getting 3 new Botanical sets, and one of them I'm very considering getting. It's been a while since I've got a good Botanical set. This one is called the Woodland Mushrooms. It's 806 pieces at $80. And the reason I like it is because, well, I built the exact same set when I did the Bricklink Designer Program in Series 1, and now we're in Series 11. So Lego kind of took that idea and ran with it because this is what we've got. We've got mushrooms coming out of log, which is what I did. Large-scale mushrooms, some other different mushroom styles, foliage because it's on the ground floor, or the floor of the, a forest. It's cool. I'm disappointed that mine didn't get selected and they did this instead. Water lilies is 259 pieces at $30, and they look very beautiful. They definitely look like they come off a lily pond. The only problem is they put them in these super tiny little vases that are supposed to be like water, I guess, because they've got a lower section that's like trans blue, and then they've got an upper that's trans white. Hopefully somebody fixes it. Instead of just having the $30 set, you can change it and have the lilies somewhere else. And then the last one is the Cosmos Flowers. It's 171 pieces at $14. And it's got a set of 3 primary flowers just with shield pieces. So we got a pink, a magenta, and white. 2 other flowers that are, I can't remember what kind of flowers they are, but they're like stacked blooms. So this is one of those smaller ones that you get and put in your small vase. Now let's talk Harry Potter Summer. The first one is the Hogwarts House Crest. It's 545 pieces at $50, and it's a brick-built version with all 4 houses that actually have a little display plaque at the bottom outlining them. But they're cute little characters. There's nothing like crazy about them to give a lot of detail. I'm trying to think what they used to be called, like sketches, Lego sketches, which are the brick-built little cards, almost version of them. The next one is Dobby the Free Elf. It's 379 pieces at $30. And it's a free elf because he gets the book, and there's a sock that falls out of it. And it even comes with the lamp that he hits himself with. He snaps his fingers, and it actually shows like a what is it called? Snowflake, like in transparent with sparkles coming out of it. And then the Skelegro for when he broke his arm. So all the things that you can remember Dobby by. You could also change it into Creature if you want, but I wouldn't. You get Dobby. Next one is the Nocturne Alley Wizarding Shops. 788 pieces at $120. You're going to get a few minifigures here. Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Draco Malfoy, Narcissus Malfoy, Madame Pottage, Fenric Greyback, Mr. Borgin, and a Patronus of a dog. It is Borgin and Burks, and they've got a bunch of detail of the like the hand that grabs him. He comes out of the fireplace when he's got the flu powder. So it's kind of a blend of the different movies, but primarily the what is that one? The Half-Blood Prince. That's what it was. We just watched it, so that's a fun little set. Hogwarts Castle East Wing. It's 2,164 pieces at $270. Here's a loaded amount of people. Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Ginny Weasley, Draco Malfoy, Lee Jordan, Michelle Bellstrobe, don't remember, Tom Riddle, Severus Snape, Gilderoy Lockhart, Argus Filch, Moaning Myrtle, the Bloody Baron, Mrs. Norris, and Doc and another Doe as a Doe Patronus. Excuse me. So they're just throwing Patronuses in everywhere. It is a intense section of it where it's got the main bridge where they fight in the final battle. Comes with the basilisk, so there's the Chamber of Secrets aspect to it, the Moaning Myrtle in the bathroom. So you're just tying in a lot of different classes and things into this. Severus Snape with his Doe Patronus, hits the feels right there for sure. Hogwarts herbology plants at 817 pieces at $100, and we have just four. We've got the Mandrake, we've got the Fanged Garium, and that's the second one. It's like these fanged like little plants. I think those are the Ghana lilies or whatever it's called. That what's his name sells them. Professor Slughorn, and then the Nimbula tonia. It's the little prickly plant that Neville brings to school one year. Forbidden Forest Expecto Patronum, it's 286 pieces at $35. Harry Potter, Severus Snape, 2 Dementors, and the Stag. So it's when they're on the lakeside and he has to save them in the dark. It's interesting because they've got 2 trees that have like a purplish and a dark turquoise to have it look like night, and the Dementors are skeleton things. Norbert Hagrid's Baby Dragon, 482 pieces at $50, and we've talked about this. It looks like an excellent little dragon. And the Book Nook Dumbledore's Office is 1,182 pieces at $130, and it's one of the better bookends we've seen. So that's Harry Potter. It's a lot, and we'll continue moving on to some more. We've got more creator sets coming out. And the first one is the Floral Decor Perfume Bottle. So we've got a lot of transparent pieces, 286 pieces at $30, 3-in-1. So you can do that, a little flower bouquet, or it looks like a little drink that you can get beachside because it's got some pretty colors to it. And that's a lot of transparent pieces. That is something up my alley. I like that. Wild Animals, the Majestic Lion, 839 pieces at $70. Similar to what they've done with the giraffe and the fox, this one has a really cool design to it for the a full-maned lion, a female lioness, and then 2 lion cubs that you can make. Very focused on lions. Iconic pirate ship, it's 1,074 pieces at $110, and it's got even a little kraken, but it is just a brick-built pirate ship. There's 4 pirates on it, and it's got the pirate sails, but being a 3-in-1, you can make 2 pirate ships, or you can make a fort. So some variety there if you want to build those. Wild Animal family of koalas. I could not say that. 1,536 pieces at $130. And this one is really cool. It's got 2 koalas, a mom and a baby, on a eucalyptus tree branch, and there's butterflies flying in the middle of it. And you could also change it up to a mom and a kangaroo, or a sea turtle and a baby sea turtle with some reef. So they really leaned into Australia for this one. Iconic Ferris wheel, 916 pieces at $100. So it's a working little Ferris wheel that goes around. So just think of a classic Ferris wheel. You can also do the spinning ride where you, like the G-forces, where it spins you in the back of your seat, and then a tiny carousel as well. Another forest creature, the forest animal Grey Wolf, 657 pieces at $50. It's pretty good. It's not as good as the other ones. You can also make it into a raccoon, which I think is better, or a hawk for that, out of gray pieces and gray white. So, wow. The more creator sets continue to do better and better. Animal Crossing is coming back, and not as you'd think. This one, we're getting a Tommy and Tom's Fun Day Out. It's 513 pieces. This one will be available on August 1st. We don't have pricing actually for this. It's got Tommy and Timmy on one of the bridges as they're fishing, and a little package is flying overhead. It's pretty cute. I think that they did a very nice job with this and expanding on the Animal Crossing line past what we had already gotten for some of the builds. Speed Champions, we're getting a few more sets, but not pricing on these one. The Jaguar F-Type Project 7 and a Land Rover Defender Classic. And the Defender is kind of all souped up. It has a truck bed instead, and so it's not like the classic one. This one's more the modern style, but it's a 10 plus set, 740 pieces. So likely to see this probably about $70. There's a new Lego Ideas contest. This one is called Basketball Mascot Hoops for Heroes. So you want to build a mascot for a chance to have it officially set. It's going to be a partnership with Target, and you're going to build a mascot pretty much. And it's going to be really focused on front row mascot scenes or otherwise creative concepts, as long as the mascot is the star of the model. You must not exceed 1,000 pieces, though. You can use Bricklink Studio Designer software to do this, and you can submit those. And it will become a Lego set on February 11th, 2027. That's probably projected out. And you have to do it before June 3rd. So you've got a little bit of time, but I'd get on it. We've got some more details about the Ministry of Magic direct-to-consumer set. It's going to be pretty up there. At almost 3,491 pieces, it's going to expand to similar to the Diagon Alley and the Gringotts style of it. It's going to have some expansion, so we're going to see different rooms, probably Dolores Umbridge's office, and of course some more aspects, maybe even like the Oracle room with all the different globes on it. And hopefully we don't get the one where Sirius Black dies, because that would suck. Lego is moving on to its newest challenge, not people, but a Supreme Court battle against Zuru. They are looks like they've been using Lego trademark for Lego brick compatibility as their titling, which is not possible. You can't use Lego in any of these terms, and it seems that the Supreme Court's let them go through with this to battle against this New Zealand company to say, hey, you can't use our name. And I don't know why you fight back. Just take it out of the context. Don't use Lego or brick building, popular brick build compatibility or whatever, and maybe not use the trademark of Lego. But I digress. People will do what people will do. We've got some holiday poly bags already coming out. First one is the Fun Holiday Skeleton, 71 pieces, and it's a very basic skeleton with a little lantern and a pumpkin-shaped head. Another one is a cat claw snow adventure, 70 pieces, and it's the cat that the tuxedo cat on a sled and a little ramp of snow and a tiny tree. So we're looking at a few more things coming for the holidays, of course, but these are going to be your early entries into the holiday spirit and season. Lego is teasing the release of Series 8 for the Bricklink Designer Program. They've released some of the basic images of what was selected, just kind of snippets of what we can expect. I'm excited to see what they'll actually be. There's the total of 5 that were selected, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to want to get. I know there's the Dunsmark Keep, the Coconut Cape, the Brick Railroad Locomotive, University of Science, and the Hot Air Balloon. I do like the Hot Air Balloon. The University of Science is cool, and then the Brick Railroad Locomotive. So that's 3 out of 5, which I haven't wanted in a very long time. Likely to see those released either early next week or, maybe today. This week, another set was released alongside the May the 4th sets. Something that they've delayed until a week later was the Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler. So you can go and check that out. It's a $200 set at 1,924 pieces, a 1:10 scale set where you can build either the Jeep 10, Jeep 29, Jeep 18, or Jeep 12. I can't remember which one's which. I think Jeep 12 was the one that the giant creature came through, but I'm trying to think which one I would want to do, because seeing the what do they call Brachiosaurus for the first time is definitely one of the most iconic scenes for that. So you can go check that out at your local Lego store, and it's also online. And the last thing we talk about is the Lego Ideas selection from the second round for 2025. Whoa, hey, Kat. She just launched herself across the table and somehow made the landing, although almost slipped and slammed into the TV. Well, she's here. Anyways, Edward Scissorhands is one chosen, and it's the castle with our classic character of Edward Scissorhands, Amsterdam Channel houses, with a little channel, of course, with a little boat, and then 4 houses on it. My favorite is the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the Griswold House, fully decked out in lights, and then Eddie and the Motorhome, and then The Old Man and the Sea. So it's a book that opens up and shows the man fishing for the massive fish. So it's a classic book. Very interesting choices for these. There also is another one, Lunch Atop a Skyscraper, has put in the parking lot. Joining the Daft Punk concert. So we'll see when those or if those ever get made. But fingers crossed that they continue to make more and more of these because that definitely is needed. And that's all the breaking news we have this week, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. I appreciate you, each and every one of you, taking your time to listen to all the fun news that's been happening in the LEGO community. And I hope you come back to learn more because there's always more to learn and hear about that you might be interested in and buying, building, what have you. So make sure to subscribe to this. Make sure to tell your friends and family. Check out the YouTube channel. And so let's move into our set reviews. Our first one is set 31218, the Japanese Cherry Blossom Landscape. It's an 18-plus set, part of the art series at 1,892 pieces. It'll cost you $140. And it currently has 66 reviews at 4.8 stars, and it is available right now. This is part of the art lineup, so they've been moving away from just the flat the kind of mosaic art. This is a bit more three-dimensional. So we've got the pinkish sky as the sun, I think, has just set, some clouds and 2 cranes flying overhead. And then we have in the back Mount Fuji, at least that's what I'm assuming. And it's reflecting in the water, which is a pretty cool idea to have it reflecting. You wouldn't know if, you weren't looking right at it. And then the farther away you are from these kind of art pieces, the more likely you're not to know that it's Lego. There's a rock structure on either side of it, kind of jutting out with 2 waterfalls, one that's falling into the screen itself and one falling out of the frame. And we do have a small temple with a small bridge crossing over this water, and it shows that the water's kind of flowing down, which I think with the different colorings of a lighter blue and a kind of intermittent pieces of different blue coloring. And of course, you got to have a cherry blossom. It is the cherry blossom landscape. I was a little surprised that they only had a few cherry blossoms overall. They're pretty small, and then we have one larger one in the corner. So the name is a little bit deceiving, more of just a landscape with like a Japanese landscape, I'd say, not just a cherry blossom landscape. It is very well built. It is mountable on your wall. You can set it up. It's going to have to be on the edge of something if you really want it, because the waves, or the waterfall coming off the edge of it. But I guess it is doable. Actually, no, I was completely wrong. You can set it anywhere. The waves are equal with the frame. And at $140 for 1,900 pieces, it's not a bad deal for piece count. And if you really love the Japanese landscape, this one will be right up your alley. You can find a link in the description to purchase that. All right, now let's move on to our Rebrickable set. This is the Stargate SG-1 Gate Room. It's by AO Bricks 34. It's 2,259 pieces and will cost you 15 pounds, which I think is like $19, $20. So it's a little steep, but the reason I like this one a lot is, one, I'm a Stargate fan. Huge into the whole series. I've watched every episode. It's good and corny at the same time, which is really fun. But the gate room is where the Stargate is, the giant ring that they could make a wormhole portal into other areas that have Stargates. And this is in Cheyenne Mountain out in Wyoming, I think it is, or Colorado, Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado. Anyways, it's got a full ramp that goes up into the ring itself, with the full ring having one specific detail that has not been in any of the other sets that I've seen. It's called the iris. And what would happen is it could close this very strong metal ring inside, or circle inside the ring, to block anything from coming in through the wormhole that we didn't want. And it is a mechanical one where there's a disc on the side where you can spin it, and it actually closes like an iris would close on like one of those fun little boxes. And it's actually completely closable. It's not just like a little gap. The mechanism is amazing what they did with this. So I'm interested in getting it just for that part, and even saying like close the iris, and then maybe I could do a mechanical thing. Wish there was some voice activated stuff for Lego. But this is a really fun one. And if you're a Stargate fan, this is probably one of the best gates I've seen in a very long time. All right, everyone, that's all I've got. Thank you again for tuning into this week's podcast. Make sure to subscribe, tell everyone about it, and I'll leave you, as I always do, get creative, get out there, and go build something.